Hello, in this tutorial I will be making name presentation using shutter effects and lens flare. So let's begin. First I start by making a new composition and we will name it text, and when it comes to format I'll be using HD 720 with 25 frames. And first thing, I'll create a name text for myself. So you type in your name just like this, and you increase the size and you drag it to fit it in your composition window and resize it. So I have caps lock on, so it won't work. We have to put off the caps lock, and with this created I will scale down my words in my name. Those are in the middle. I take it to the top. Now I'll change the color of my text. So I select all and change it to blue, and select the middle part, just three of this, and you can change it to whatever color you like. For now I'll choose green. Yeah, like this. And I'll take another layer for my second name text, and I write my name just like this. You resize your second name again to fit in, and you position it to the bottom level of the larger text and fit it like this. Okay, all text layer is done. Now I'll create another new composition window. We'll name it shutter, and the settings should be same. And in new com, that's shutter, we'll bring in the previous com, that's text. We'll apply effects, go to effects and simulation, then go to shutter. So here you do not see your text, but do not worry. You go to effect controls, then to shutter effects, change the view mode to rendered. Now we can see our text, and if you scrub through, this is how it looks. The effects has been applied, but I'm not very impressed with this. It looks more like a bricks, so I'll change my pattern to glass, and if you scrub through, this is how it looks. Pretty much nicer. But however, if you see the text, you see them falling, so which is pretty bad. So I turn on my physics, go there and turn the gravity to 0, so that when you scrub through, you have a look like this glass particles coming towards the camera and spreading out just like this. And this is better. However, not too much of particles are there. The particles looks bigger, so I'll increase the repetition. Okay, let's keep it 55, and now if you see, you have more particles breakdown. This looks cool. Under force one, we can change the strength. So like when it comes to strength, if you just scrub through your timeline, it's pretty short. So like I can decrease the strength level, so we should give you a more duration of your effects. So now if you see this, like I get 6 seconds, which is enough for me. However, if you see below, you have some particles still viewable in your window, So like I'll go to transform, then I'll scale it larger so that all the particles goes out of the frame. You create two keyframes. First, at like around 4 seconds you create a keyframe without increasing your scale, and go to your last frame, which is 6 seconds, and increase your scale so that none of the particles are visible there. And now I create another new composition. We name it reverse. In this new window reverse, you bring the shutter composition. Okay, right click your shutter file and go to time, and then enable time remapping, and you go to the timeline. In the beginning you create one keyframe, and go to the end, create one keyframe. Okay, now I reverse these two keyframes. So this is exactly what I want. And now I create another new composition with same settings, and I name it lens flare. We'll apply lens flare effects there. In this new comp, you bring the reverse file to your composition. And now for lens flare, first you create a new solid. Okay, with this done, right click your file, go to effects, go to video copilot here, and choose lens flare. Change the mode from normal to add, and now if you see this, you can see the text as well as the lens flare. However, the lens flare is still static, so now we will animate this lens flare. So like first let me go to this option, and in option I go to the preset folder, and I choose the beam that is inside it. And with this I do some settings here like multi-iris, streak and all. And click OK. Yes, now for animation you go to effects, then to optical lens flare, then here I choose position, brightness and scale. And now at first I will take my lens flare at the center and just below the window, and go about 2 seconds. Then here I change the position, take it to left just like this, and as you scrub through until where your name appears fully. Yes, just like this, and you can change the position of your lens flare, bring it to somewhere here, and here I will play with brightness and scale. Just like this, I scale them up, brighten them up, increase the brightness just like this. yes, and go further through your timeline, and now you decrease it again, just like this, and come like 8 seconds or so. You bring back your brightness to normal, like 100%, then scale it down to much smaller, just like this, and go further through your timeline around 12 seconds or so, and now let your lens flare pass through your names, just like this. Okay, somewhere till here, and go further down it through your timeline, and now you scale them up for some effects, just like this or so. Brighten it up, scale it up, and then around like 15 seconds or 16 seconds, now here we do not need anything. You decrease your brightness to 0, and if you look, see, now your brightness is gone. However, there's some issue with the scale, and I also decrease this scale, and if you see, this looks much cooler. Okay, with this done, let's go to project window again. Let's create another new composition, name it main, and now bring the lens flare composition into your timeline, and go to where your effects, lens flare effects end, resize it just like this, and now here you bring your first shatter composition into the timeline, so that we can put it at the end and have the reverse and forward effect both together. Now you go to the end. Maybe you can do some fade out effects, fading out to black, which normally the viewers love it. It has a dramatic effect. However, if you go to the shutter file, you see a transparent background. So we create new background which is totally black and put it underneath of all the files, so that we see all the background in black, which appears cool to me. Okay, this is pretty much it. Thanks for watching. If you like it, hit like, and don't forget to subscribe for my further videos.